We gotta talk. Welcome back. Lord, please give me strength to deliver this message. I'm telling you guys, like this message right here, I hope that you hear what I'm saying and not just get angry with me or get emotional with me. I need you to hear what I'm saying. I truly believe that this message right here is very important for the time that we live in. All right? Do you ever just feel like maybe you just been sleeping with a bunch of fat women that you don't want to be? That maybe you just don't get the women in your life that you want? Do you ever feel like maybe you have like this desire to conquer and you see all this potential within yourself, but you get frustrated because you're really not living up to that potential? You ever feel like life is just bending you over, just wham, just smacking you, wham, just beating you up? You ever feel like that? I know I do sometimes. I know it's very easy to feel like this, but I figured it out. I'm telling you, I just looking closely, thinking, this is what it comes down to. You have to embrace and realize this simple concept. And if you do, and you start working to make, with this newfound awareness, you start working to make your life better, it will be better. Here it is. You cannot make people do what they don't want to do. That simple. All right? That simple. You cannot make people do that which they do not want to do. And if you're having trouble finding success in life, financial, getting a beautiful woman in your life that's supportive, building friendships, getting a raise, doing whatever the hell you want, living an adventurous life, it is because of this. You do not realize this fact that you cannot make people do what they don't want to do. All right? What you should do instead, and what people that find success realize, is that if I can't make someone do something, what I have to do is create. I have to create excitement. I have to create trust, build trust. I have to allow people to feel comfortable around me as a man in my presence. Instead of trying to force someone to do something for me, I have to make people want to do this thing for me. Write that down. Like, once you understand this, everything begins to change. Because most likely you are not doing that. And I'll show you why. There's two things that you need to be aware of. The first one is you're probably too damn emotional. Now, emotions are touted as this thing that you should harness to get, use your anger to fuel you. It's all bullshit. Emotions do not serve you. And I don't care what you think, emotions do not serve you. A lot of you guys are too used to being emotional. You're being led by your emotions. You act out of a place of anger or fear. You get very emotional. You get very passionate one day and you get very sad the next. You're controlled by your emotions. If you look at top CEOs, a lot of people say these guys are like psychopaths because they have the ability to not get weighed down with the baggage of emotion. They get to look at things clearly, how they really are, and then act from there. But what you're doing is allowing emotions to come into your life, which causes you to be unable to build excitement. An emotional man cannot easily build excitement in others. He cannot easily make people feel comfortable, and he's not trustworthy, which is all the antithesis to getting people to want to be around you, getting the women that you like, and getting people to be a person of influence because you decide to be emotional. But emotions are not just mental. Emotions, a good way to understand this is physical. It is cortisol in your bloodstream pumping throughout your body. And today, in the modern world, we all deal having to balance our emotions and not get too emotional. A lot of us sit behind a desk all day. We're tight. We store a lot of this, just tightness in ourselves. A lot of us are cracked out on stimulants, constantly doom scrolling, getting filled with fear. We compare our lives to other people, just pumps you with emotion. A lot of us have earphones 24/7, just pumping you with emotions. Boom, boom, boom. You're just always pumped with emotions. Your sedentary existence is causing you to be filled with these emotions and cortisol and stress. The antidote to this is to move more. Movement is the antidote to this nervous energy that you have in yourself. Movement will relinquish nervous energy and excitement within your body. It will get rid of emotions. The reason I tell you guys train a martial art, do boxing, do jiu-jitsu, hit the weights, is because you need to relinquish this nervous energy within your life. It does not serve you. The reason that I tell you guys to move and walk and do all this is because an hour a day at the gym is not going to cut it, dude. It's not going to cut it. We're meant to move as humans. We're meant to move and move a lot. A whole lot. Okay? So if you want to be someone that can influence, that can get the things which he desires, you have to, again, create excitement, make people feel comfortable with you, and be able to build trust. You cannot do this clearly and see what you need to do on a daily basis and on a situational basis if you're filled with emotion. It just doesn't happen, okay? You need to be able to look at things with a cool head, calm, equanimity, and be able to move to your target, to what you need to do, okay? Every circumstance, every situation, you need to have that cool-headedness about you. Emotions serve no purpose within that. And I know a lot of you guys are very emotional because you are constantly online and you're constantly used to getting in confrontational situations with others online because you don't have to pay the consequences of confrontation. You don't have to. So what you do is you get on here, you bicker, you argue, you point out any little thing, you get emotional, and you're confrontational. So there you go, you're emotional. You're playing a different game. You're losing. Right? The world, I believe, wants you like this. I know it wants you like this because it capitalizes, it makes a lot of money off of emotional consumers. All right? An emotional person who's not stable must consume more and more in order to cope with his existence, his stressed out, unhappy existence. Your emotions do not serve you. So emotional men are weak. And you're causing yourself to be like this partly because of your, again, sedentary lifestyle, because you have nervous energy inside of you, and you're choosing to live like this. Okay, so that leads us to the second thing, which is most men are not good at building hype. Most men are not good at theater, at acting, at sort of conjuring up drama at all. Excitement. To build excitement, dude. Right? Like most guys are so used to, here, just write this down. Like this, like think about this. Most guys are used to being entertained and never having to entertain anyone other than themselves. Most guys are used to being entertained. You read your manga, you watch your anime, you jerk off to prawn, you watch Netflix, you watch videos, you play video games, you do this and that, you're entertained. When's the last time that you had to entertain someone? When's the last time that you had to tell a compelling story, to be compelling, to maybe sell something, to influence? You never had. When's the last time you had to do this? And yet you want to get everything, and you want people to like you, and you want success in the world, but you don't know how to entertain anyone else other than yourself. And so you get frustrated. And again, back to being emotional. Being emotional, one last thing on that, is simply like yelling at someone. You ever been yelled at? It sucks. It's like, shut the hell up, stop yelling at me, right? It's like, just don't yell at me and tell me what to do, mom. Mom, stop yelling at me. When people yell at us, we shut them out. We don't want to hear what they have to say. That's what it's like when you're an emotional man. Emotional men do not want, people do not want to be around them. It's too much. It's chaotic. They're angry one minute, happy the next, all over the place. Get a grip on yourself. It's like yelling at people to try to get you to act and do what they want to do. But again, if you just understand the basic principle, the basic law that states you can't get other people to do that which they don't want to do. You simply have to build excitement, create trust, and a comfortable feeling that they want to partake in, that where they want to do that thing. You build desire within them. Okay? So back to creating this desire and this excitement. We're not used to entertaining, we're used to being entertained. You have to be aware of how you're being perceived by other people. Think to yourself, take an honest look in the mirror and think to yourself, what does my image, my presence, what image do I occupy in the minds of other people? When someone thinks about me, what do they think about me? Do I give them a good feeling? Do I give them a negative feeling? You have to be aware of this. You have to use self-awareness. You got to be honest with yourself and think about what you're giving out. Okay? A lot of you guys pay no attention to the way that your style looks, to the way that you dress. Do you look like every other average Joe out there? Do people get curious even a little bit when you're around? One of the reasons that lifting is so, told in the community is because you could dress simply and let your aesthetics speak for themselves, which makes a statement, which allows people to instantly respect you and are a bit curious about you. Who is this man? Who is this powerful individual? Okay? Who is this powerful individual? And you must realize, what your presence, the image you're given, what does it say about you? And a lot of you guys would really learn from simply, being aware of, are you stiff as a board? Are you, just hard as a rock? Just when you're around people, are you stiff? Are you too reserved? Are you able to flow? Are you able to loosen up a little bit? Can you give a girl, like a cheeky little smile? Can you maybe look at her and then look away? Or do you got to be right up in her face all, for freaking 10 minutes just telling her about your life, not asking questions, not building any excitement, no anticipation, just kind of just boasting? Can you do a little push-pull, a little flirt? Be a flirt. A little push-pull back and forth. Maybe she's interested in you, just, something comes, all right, I'm gonna go over here. You come back, you're flirting, you're creating this excitement, this curiosity. With other people, are you overbearing? Are you always talking about yourself? What is it that you're giving off to the world? When the girls don't give you attention, you get frustrated. Instead of making excuses and getting emotional with women, I know a lot of you guys do this for some reason. You argue with a woman through text that you just met. You're not able to be lighthearted and be able to crack jokes. Why not? You don't own this person. You don't even need this person. But a lot of you guys like to get emotional and angry and argue with random chicks that you just met about politics. What? What are you doing? Play the game. Be aware of the game that you're playing. And, you should be the type of guy that you can joke, you can relax and have fun. You don't always need to be serious. These are the cringiest type of guys, always being serious all the time, acting like they're stoic. Being stoic isn't a personality trait, dude. It's not like being serious all the time. No one wants to be around this type of guy because it's not exciting. It's not fun. There's no mystery. There's no curiosity. There's no hype. You need to build hype. You need to give life. People want to feel alive. They don't want to feel dead. They don't want to feel sad. People work all the time and lack sleep and have boring ass lives. They want to be around people that make them feel alive, that seem that they're appreciative for life. So do you dress in all boring clothes, just all black, or real kind of make you look like too serious? Do you what is the image that you're giving off? You got to be aware of this. You have to be aware of this, man. I'm telling you, I recommend that. A lot of times you guys have heard me say, read fiction, read fantasy, read sci-fi, because you don't have to do this, of course, but it gives you an understanding of what a compelling story is. and how to create drama and what is exciting. Like you need to understand these key elements in storytelling and building, world building. You know, like be a little bit cheeky, be a little bit lighthearted, be flirtatious. Don't take things too serious, man. So if you just do these two things, like seriously, just do these two things. Eliminate nervous energy from your life. Do not allow yourself to be swept up and controlled by emotions. You need to be clear. You need to be able to focus, okay? Most people are emotional, okay? But most people are poor. Most people are not living the lives that they want. Most people are stuck in a trap. Don't be like most people. So stop giving into all these emotions, all these people online that telling you embrace your emotions. Bullshit, dude. Stop it. You're a freaking man. Emotions don't serve you. You know what does serve you? When there's a freaking lion and you get a little scared and like maybe you should fight or flight, you know, like that response. Okay, that's fine. But being sad, being happy all the time, being passionate, it's all overrated. Being angry, overrated, dude. You know, like that's not enough of a driving force because it fades. Being angry with other people. So stop being emotional. And realize that it's physical. It's like in your blood. You got to exercise it out. You got to move, eliminate it, relinquish it from your life, like through movement, and move more than like your average person. You can't sit 8 hours a day and work out for one and expect to like not to feel complete. Like it's tough. The next thing is you simply like become the actor. Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and the men and women are merely players. We're players in this game. You know, I want you guys to wake up to that fact. Like you are playing a game. You got to see the game for what it is. You have to see it clearly. You got to be able to build excitement. You got to be able to build anticipation. There's this guy in our group. His name's Fabian. Prime example of this. He's the member of the year for a reason. Member of the year in a huge group. This guy is Cuban. The Cuban charisma, dude. Cuban charisma. You talk to him in VC, he can talk with anyone. Makes you feel comfortable, funny, makes you laugh, never holds a grudge. You'll never feel like he actually hates you. Like he just doesn't have that hate in his heart. Doesn't feel like he's gonna hate you. He makes it easy to talk to. He kind of asks you questions, builds you up, can crack jokes, can also call you a retard, but you won't even take it to heart because you know it's in good nature. He doesn't just rip on you because, you know, he hates you. No, he has like a good, benevolent nature, dude. And we can all learn something from this. He's also really good at creating hype. Summer 2023, you know, Fabian building the hype. You know, boys, the Thumos 90, let's go. Like, you know, summer's here, the girls are out. What are we doing, boys? What are we doing this weekend? Like that hype, that love for life, you know, that anticipation for living a awesome life. And so that combination of not taking things to heart, not getting emotional, you know, being able to nag and move on, just to move on. He came up with that NAMO, nag and move on, right? Be able to a girl doesn't want you in her life, nag and move on. Don't try to keep calling her or reaching out, just nag and move on. Live your life. Be stoic. All right? Build hype. You know, incorporate some theater in your life. Act a little bit. Even if you're maybe a little sad, realize how others are perceiving you. I'm not asking you to be a freaking peacock. You got to dress in damn feathers and stuff. Add a little flair to your style. Stop being a sad boy in your posture, you know, weak, just walking around, not open at all, just closed off. Weak ass body language just lowers your test when you look at it, right? Like, don't be someone that's always talking about himself. Ask questions about others. Be interested in others. Be genuinely interested in others. Again, to reiterate, you cannot make people do what they don't want to do. You cannot make it happen. And the more that you try to operate from that place, you're going to be like a little crying baby, just yelling at people. You know, people aren't going to want to be around you. They're not going to like you. You first must build excitement. You must make people comfortable in your presence. You must build trust amongst others so that they want to participate in the adventure that you're on. that they want to embark on this journey with you, that they want to be a part of your group, that they want to support you, that they want to be your friends, that they want to be your lovers, that they want to be a part of this thing that is your life. You do this, your life gets immediately better. You have to use self-awareness. You have to you gotta don't get anxious about this, but look at your life. There's an example. Some guys come into our group and they don't try to meet anyone. They don't they take themselves way too seriously to begin with. We're a group of guys here. They don't even make an effort to maybe share in a joke, to have a laugh. They just come right off the bat asking some serious ass question and asking for help and just trauma dumping. Like, dude, that's not how you operate in a group. Not how it happens. And what happens is they don't feel like they belong. Well, you did it to yourself. You couldn't blend. You got emotional too. You got angry because people didn't treat you right. You did this to yourself. Take responsibility as a man. It's all up to you, dude. Life is out there waiting for you, but you've been ignorant. You've been willfully blind. And you know what happens? The most insidious thing that happens is you start thinking that the world owes you something. You start thinking that you deserve everything, and then you get angry and bitter and resentful when you don't get those things. And the world doesn't owe you anything. Just because you're good looking, maybe you're strong, maybe you work out, who gives a shit? There's a plenty of badass dudes out there that do all this. They're crushing it. You're not the only badass dude, right? Like, you're not the only one out there crushing it. Take responsibility for your life. You've been blind, now you see, okay? Don't get emotional and use this life. Let life flow through you so that it impacts the ones around you. That's it, man. Keep it thumos, and I wish you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.